Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another edition of A Black Girl's Odyssey. I'm your hostess, Breeze, and today I'm going to be talking about a topic that's also hot on the internet right now. So, there's a sector of social media where there are a lot of young women that's saying that they choose to be child free, and I decided that maybe this would be a good time for me to go ahead and give my reasons why I've chosen to possibly stay child free. But before we get into it, I need you to hit that like and subscribe button. I also need you to chime my notification bell so you'll be aware of any videos I upload about my adventures in traveling. So the last time I spoke to you all, I was in Honolulu, Hawaii. I had a nice time there. It was a nice vacation. Like I said in my previous video, I suggest that if possible, everyone visit Hawaii at least once in their lifetime. It's going to be a cultural difference. It is also going to be very stimulating because of the different cultures that you see in one sector. Not to mention, it's a beautiful island to go visit. Since then, I've came to Arizona. I'm currently in Scottsdale, Arizona right now. I'm actually will be leaving today. I came here to handle some business. But while I was here, I'm noticing this differences between my vacation in Hawaii and my vacation here in Scottsdale. So the hotel that I'm currently staying in is called the Embassy Suites. Of course, you all know that Embassy Suites is a very popular hotel, especially here in the mainland. And I've noticed my environment here in Scottsdale is more peaceful, more quiet. You don't see, or I have not seen since I've been here, and I've been here for like 2 days. I have not seen any children here. Mostly people here are middle aged to like seniors. However, when I was in Hawaii, I noticed that Hawaii is very family oriented. And I'm not talking about people there in Hawaii that's having children. I'm talking about the touristy areas that had a lot of children, attractions that had a lot of children there. And I mean, as small as infancy. So while I was in Hawaii, I observed the families there, I observed the children there. And I'm telling you, it made me not want any children even the more because the kids were a little unruly and it made me just like not want to be bothered. And I'm not talking about like little just kids in general. I'm talking about little small kids, even some of them that's old enough to know better. They were just wild and just unruly and it just turned me off. But today I'm going to give my reasons of why I chose to stay child free, and it's mostly because of what I observed. I like this hotel here. Like I said, I'm in Scottsdale, Arizona. I actually like this hotel because it's peaceful and quiet. Again, I'm on my personal balcony overlooking a golf course. There's a golf course across from me, and I'm seeing the gentlemen play golf, and they're have like a little park looking thing over there also, and they have like the sprinklers are going off right now because um Arizona is very dry. Needless to say, it's very dry and it's very humid out here. It's not as bad as it was yesterday, but it's still humid. So I actually have my bottled water here that I'm gonna be taking sips in between because my throat is also getting dry. Excuse me. And I also just feel a need to just get this off my chest because this has been pending me for a while. All my life, people have been asking me when I decide I will have children, and I decided that I most likely probably won't have them. So let's go ahead and do our countdown, starting with number five, giving you the fruit for five of why I decided that I may be child free for the rest of my life. So the fifth reason here is because I don't want to rear children. I am a person that has short patience. I'm not even going to lie. I don't want to keep repeating the same things over and over again. I don't like that. After like the second time, my patience get incredibly short. And I don't want to have to keep telling them, stop that, don't do this, behave yourself, you're going to get punished, blah, blah, blah. I don't have time for all that. I just don't want to deal with that. And I think it's a nuisance. And then if you as a person who chooses to physically discipline your kids, then that will become a very big problem. So I think it's just best that I just don't have any children and I won't have to worry about that or worry about catching a case. Because sometimes, a lot of times that I have observed, sometimes a little physical discipline may be necessary because some of these kids are very unruly and I choose not to deal with that. So that's the fifth reason why I've chosen not to have any children. Um, Another reason why I decided that I don't want to have children, which is my fourth reason, is because I don't want them to be influenced by media and peer pressure. I remember growing up in the 90s, I remember how peer pressure was everywhere, from television to the people in my community, sometimes even family and friends. And I was like, I'm just not interested in this. If you're saying that this is wrong, then why are so many people doing the total opposite? And it just annoyed me a lot. It was conflicting me inside of why is if this is so bad, why is it being portrayed in media so much? Through songs, through television. The internet wasn't really popular when I was growing up. The internet didn't become popular until like the late 90s. So by the time the internet came around and was as popular as it is today, I had already was old enough to understand life. So I didn't have too much influences from social media. As a matter of fact, I think when I was in high school, I don't even think social media existed. They used to have I forgot the name of the platform. Oh my God. Before Facebook, they had another one. You all probably know what I'm talking about out there. And I never had one of those pages. I can't remember the name of the platform at this time, but I just never had a desire to be on any of that stuff, not even Facebook. So I didn't have to have social media influence me. I influenced me, and I was like, I'm gonna just be over here doing my own thing. But a lot of people have said that children have been severely influenced by social media, and they have come across to their parents as being rebellious because of social media. Everyone is doing it. Why can't I? Everyone don't parent their children the same. So, and what you think is probably not good for your child, somebody else may think that it's okay. So as long as I stay away from having children, I don't have to worry about them being influenced by media or anything of the sort. It's just better that way for me and myself and a child that would have been. So that's my fourth reason I decided that I don't want media, neither peer pressure from people influencing my child or my children. The third reason why I don't want to have a child or children, my God, is the cost. Raising children is so expensive. I don't know personally because I don't have any children. But from where I hear people speak, it's very expensive. First of all, having them is expensive. The hospital bill alone is very costly. Not to mention all the paraphernalia you have to buy for them: diapers, formula, if you're not breastfeeding, children's clothing, although you can probably get that from donations because people are more than happy to pass on clothing from their child to the next, which we society has deemed as hand-me-downs. But children grow so fast, they always need and they always want. Um, and if you got your mind to do something with your money, most likely that's going to interrupt your plans because your child is going to want or need something. And another thing about this is that I don't understand. And then when you ask for help, you don't get it. Like, let's just say, God forbid, you have a good job and you've worked it out where you can have daycare and such for your kid, but something should happen and you have to take some time off for work and you decided that you need to fall on government assistance. The government is not helping you, or the government is going to look at you side eye because you're coming to them asking for help. That's going to be the case. Why am I having children? Why would I bring a child into this world? Because life, as we know it, is very unpredictable. So we don't know what can happen whenever. They'll say stuff like, "Oh, well, that's what the father is for. Why not depend on the father?" Well, men are very unpredictable. As long as things going the way that they want, they'll stay a while. Sometimes they get an itch to just leave and just go be with another woman. Sometimes they just don't want to be bothered with parenting themselves. So who bears the brunt of that burden? the mother. I'm not willing to do it. It's not worth it. I can't see myself paying $2,000 a month for childcare when I could take that $2,000 and put it into something else. I don't have time for after school programs. I just don't have time for all that stuff. That's a very stressful um, situation to be in with with a child. So I really think that having children is something that people really need to look forward to doing on their own, most specifically mothers, because men are undependable and you don't know um, what the situation is going to be. And I'm just not willing to cough up all that money. I'm a person who likes to travel, and I'd rather put my money in traveling than putting it into a child. And so that's another reason why I don't want to have children, is because I don't want to deal with the cost of raising children. Children are very expensive, they're very needy, and they're very wanty too. Okay, so the second reason, this is like the main reason why I don't want to be a mother, but I'm starting to rethink this. But my second reason for not wanting to be a mother or choose to be child free is because I fear of being a single mother. When a woman gets with a man and this man has promised to stay by her side and he chooses not to, or maybe perhaps it's not that he chose to, maybe fate has chosen for him not to be a father, that burden, like I said in the previous point, falls on the woman. I didn't sign up for this. If I was told that I was going to help me raise these kids, then our child, then where is the man? And people will say stuff like, oh, well, you need to choose a good man. What is that? I'm sure a lot of women have thought they have had good men, and a man either abandoned them and walk away, or he may have passed away, which is another thing that I need people need to keep in mind. You know, you need to keep your spouse or your boyfriend or girlfriend in an insurance. If something happens, you at least get some, hopefully get some money to help finance these children. But if a person just abandons you and decide that they don't want to be a parent anymore, then what is it that you do? Because you don't have the backing of the government. You may not even have familial backing. So what are you going to do then? Just be a single mother and deal with it? I just watched a clip of a newscast where this woman has 5 children. She's trying to make ends meet to take care of all 5 of them. I don't want to be in that situation. Now, the only caveat to this is if I have a substantial enough money to be able to take care of a child on my own. If I'm Beyonce rich or Rihanna rich, yeah, I wouldn't mind raising a kid on my own. Why? Because I have the funding to be able to fund the help that I would need. But to be an average everyday workaday woman to say that I'm going to go ahead and do this on my own, absolutely not. It's not worth it. I don't see it as attractive. I don't see it as appealing. I don't feel like I'm a strong woman to have to do this. I don't see it that way. My mental state is not, I'm not going to say it's fragile, but my mental state is always focused on one thing or maybe 2 things at a time. And getting involved in being a single mother is not it. I have thought about it, possibly, maybe fostering or adopting a little girl in the future. But if I age out of that, then I just age out of that. I'm not going to be sweating it or worried about it because I really have chosen to take on being a child-free woman. I embrace the lifestyle. I like it. So that's one of my biggest fear, being a single mother. Is like the second reason why I decided that I don't want to have children. I'll choose to be child-free. And my number one reason for wanting to be child-free kind of goes with number two. But the main reason why I really don't want any children is because I don't want to sacrifice my freedom and time. Sometimes I'll lay in bed at night And a thought will pop into my head and say, why don't you go to such and such for a little while? I'm like, okay. I jump on the computer, I do my research, and I'm like, you know what? A flight to such and such bad. Let me go check out the lodging situation. Get on there, check out lodging. I'm like, oh, okay. Well, you know what? I'm going to such and such for a certain amount of time. Forget 2 weeks. I'm gone for sometimes weeks at a time, if not falling into months. When you have children, you cannot do that. You have to schedule your time around theirs. And I don't want to do that. For example, this Christmas, if God says so, nothing will happen. I'm planning on going to Paris. At one point, I started to take the whole month of December off. I could not do that if I had a child. When do they get like winter Christmas vacation? Somewhere like the middle or end of December when I wanted to take the whole month off. So now I got to sit here and wait till they get out of school in order for me to be able to go about my business. No, I can't do that. I'm not willing to do that. And sometimes I do 2 and 3 trips in 1 month. Look, last week I was just in Honolulu, Hawaii, and now today I sit here in front of you in Arizona, Scottsdale, Arizona. So I'm not willing to sacrifice my freedom and time for that. To me, it's just not worth it. While I probably could adjust my schedule, I said I don't want to. So no, that's good. I'm good the way how things are. Um, I love my life overall. I love the freedom that I have of living my life. I love the fact of sleeping in late, waking up when I want to, getting out of bed when I want to. Sometimes, because I'm a lounger, I can lounge in bed all day long. Sometimes I don't even take off my bed clothes. I can lounge in bed all day long. The next thing you know, I look up, it's night again. I love that. I eat when I want to, whether I want to take out or if I want to cook. I can do that when I want to. I don't have anybody tugging on me saying, Mama, Mama, I'm hungry, or whatever the case may be, because children have to be fed. I don't have to worry about any of that. So again, I don't want to sacrifice my time. I don't want to sacrifice my freedom. I love my life the way that it is right now. So with all that in mind, I want to say this. There are a lot of people out here who's shaming people like me by saying things like, who's going to take care of you in your old age? You're going to die alone. No one's going to be there. Well, first of all, we're all going to die alone. I don't ever know anybody to die with somebody, even if they're in a similar incident and both people died, they're still dying alone. That's a journey that we're all going to take alone. Number two, can you guarantee me that children are going to take care of me if I should have them? No one can guarantee that. Are you willing to put your head in a guillotine and guarantee that my kids are going to take care of me in my old age? No. There may be possibly one that may stick around or maybe check you out. But to say that they're going to take care of you, absolutely not. And if you don't have no money as a parent to fund these things, are you expecting your children to take care of you financially? A lot of that's going around too. So I think it's just better if I just keep it me, myself, and I. And also have made plans and are making plans to deal with situations when they come about like that. But I don't think that a child is a financial plan, a backup plan, or any other plan that you have. Children, I see them as investments. They can either be an asset or they can be a deficit. As you know, with investments, if you've ever did any type of investments, sometimes they pay off and sometimes they don't. To me, I see having children is like rolling dice. You could very well crap out, and I'm not taking that chance. It's very risky, and I just don't think that that kind of lifestyle works for me. As a matter of fact, I've never seen it as attractive to be a wife and mother. If I would have had to choose, I would have to choose one or the other. I don't personally feel like I could do both at the same time if I would have had to choose. But I'm glad that I can live my life the way that I'm living it, and I don't have no remorse. I love being able to jump in a car and go whenever I feel like it, jump on a flight and be able to go. There's nothing like the freedom of being child free. I know this is a topic that gets a lot of people hot and bothered, but I felt the need to have to get on here and explain to me why I'm child free. A lot of people ask, Reads how can you go about and travel all over so much and go see the world and do all these things. That's because the money that people put into children, I put into investments, and my biggest investment is myself. So that's how I see it. No one can shame me. They can try because they're going to do it anyway. But I feel refreshed. I slept very well last night. I feel refreshed. And this hotel, if you ever stayed at an NBC Suites, offer free breakfast. So that's what I'm about to get ready to do. So that's what actually brings me to the end of this video and getting my free breakfast. But keep in mind the 5 things that are reasons why I chose to be child free. One, well, 5, I don't feel like child rearing. I don't feel like any of that any at all. 4, I don't want the influence of social media. I don't want the influence of family, friends, peer pressure. I don't want the influence of any of that. 3, the cost of raising a child is extremely expensive, and from what I hear, it could be as expensive as 1 year of college tuition. To me, that's not worth it. 2, I have a very strong desire not to be a single mother, at least not involuntarily. Voluntarily, maybe perhaps yes, but involuntarily, no. So 2 is a little bit up and down. And number 1, I don't want to sacrifice my time and freedom. I love being free. At this hotel, at this moment, I don't see any children rushing around, making noise, having tantrums, falling out, sometimes use profanity towards their parents. I don't have to worry about them. I almost think that this hotel don't allow children. I know that they do, but it doesn't have that vibe too. This is not a family friendly um hotel as far as I can see. And up in this corner, as a matter of fact, it's way up in a corner where you don't even see it off the street. So if you're not looking for it, you're gonna miss it. You're gonna blink and you're gonna miss it. I'm sure they accept children. I'm just saying that with the atmosphere around me right now, it's like children don't even exist. So this is one thing that I really like about this hotel. But I'm going to wrap up this video now. I would like to hear your comments and suggestions and your thoughts about why I've chosen to be child free. If you agree with them or even disagree with them, but please do it respectfully in the comment section. So make sure again that you like and subscribe to this channel. Make sure that you chime the notification bell so you'll be aware of any videos I upload about my adventures in traveling. And please also share this content with someone so I can also get their perspective on how they feel about myself or how many other women have chosen to be child free. I would like to hear that from many different backgrounds. I would like to hear people give their suggestions as long as they do it respectfully. But I would like to tell you thank you for listening. I'll see you guys next time, and God bless.